On today's Buckeye Roast, we take a hard look at Ohio State's red zone struggles and what needs to change before Big Ten play, and what has Ryan Day said to address it. The backfield has a new look with a fresh running back one, maybe, while the questions are growing about the struggles at right guard and how the staff might address them. We'll also recap the win over Ohio and zoom out for a national takeaway from Week 3 across college football. I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q right here on Dead Air Sports.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
It's good to be back, man. But boy, am I tired. I feel like I played on Saturday.
You're tired. You're 3 hours behind me. It's the middle of the night.
Look,
for
man.
Me over here.
I have real injuries. My arch hurts on my left foot. My finger hurts from carrying boxes. I'll tell you, I feel like I took that Jaylen McClain hit. That's what it really feels like right now.
Yeah, moving in Arizona heat does not sound fun. I'm surprised with all of the responsibilities you had this weekend that you found time to watch the Buckeyes. I'm proud of you.
That literally is the only thing I watched all weekend. Probably from Thursday till now. I haven't seen the movies I'm supposed to be keeping up with, the TV shows, but, you know, got to sacrifice. Ohio State football is in prime form right now, so got to do what you got to do. And I had to watch first half on my phone, the second half, finally found a remote to my TV.
Well, the Buckeyes get it done 37-9. Q, I have a stat of the day.
Is the stat we both look like Power Rangers with this glow in the background? We literally look like we got called into action.
No, we look professional. No, the stat of the day is that the Buckeyes held the Ohio Bobcats to 3 out of 15 attempts on third down. They only converted on third down 3 times out of 15 attempts. Q, coming into the season, we talked a ton about Jim Knowles' calling card being the ability to get off the field on third down. We've seen a lot of people go for it on fourth down against the Buckeyes recently, but the Buckeyes have done an excellent job of getting off the field on third down. How impressed have you been with this defense?
Super impressed, man. I thought, you look at the score Saturday, they had really one big play, which Lorenzo Styles probably lost the ball in coverage. Other than that, they didn't really give up much. I mean, again, it was Ohio, but again, that team has played well throughout the season so far, so it was a good test. I mean, we got a lot to get into, but I mean, Matt Patricia's defense has been really impressive. I think my one complaint was like I need my pass rushers to get to the quarterback a little bit without Arvell Reese helping them out. But besides that, you know,
they did it this game. We'll get into it later.
That was my one complaint coming into the game, but no, his defense has been vastly impressive, and again, they're not giving up much. You guys got to resort to throwing the ball up and hoping for the best because they're not giving the offenses a lot to work with.
Absolutely, plenty to talk about. The Buckeyes are rolling at 3-0 into what?
Sorry, somebody was speeding. You couldn't hear it. Somebody was speeding outside. I'm like, damn, Fast and Furious going on out there? Shit.
The Buckeyes keep it rolling at 3-0 going into the bye week. Got plenty to talk about, Q, so let's get into it.
All right, play the song, man.
There's only one way to start this episode, Q. Any guesses?
I have no idea where we're going to go, so no, I don't have a guess.
With a Ron victory lap from last week, Chris and I did bold predictions on Friday's show, and I just wanted to recap a couple of my bold predictions.
Okay.
I did get one wrong. I'll be a little humble here. I said the Buckeyes would force 2 turnovers. That did not happen, but I think my boldest take of the show, and the one that I'm proudest of, I predicted another Bo Jackson back-to-back 100-yard game, and he goes out there and gets it done. We're going to talk about it later in the show. 9 carries, 109 yards. The first freshman to go back-to-back 100-yard rushing game since Dallin Hayden. Not that an impressive of a stat, you know what I mean? It felt like Dallin was just here. But Bo Jackson gets it done with the back-to-back 100-yard games. And then I had Buckeyes hold them to single digits. And Chris told me it wasn't bold enough. In my mind, I had Ohio scoring 9 points. Not the way that they did with the missed extra point, but that was the number that I had in mind. And Chris told me it wasn't bold enough, so I started shouting that the Buckeyes would not give up any points. They did give up one explosive play that we'll talk about later, but overall, I thought the Buckeyes really delivered, at least for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of bold predictions last week that I wasn't able to say on camera. Obviously, Bo Jackson with a big-time run. Julian saying 2 picks, 3-0 in the first quarter of the game. So, but, you know, I couldn't get mine on camera, so I'll let you have to shine this week, but I had them all.
I bet. Q, I wanted to talk about, with a game like this, when you win by 28, you think, man, if you weren't a spoiled fan base, you'd just come away with that and be like, man, that was a good performance. Ohio's a decent squad. The Buckeyes come away with a big victory. But you saw weird things from the Buckeyes that have haunted them in the past, and it feels like the red zone struggles are back for the Buckeyes, and it really plagued them in the first half. A couple of failed conversions in the red zone. A few times they had to settle for field goals. Q, what were your overall thoughts with the red zone struggles and the return of them? Because it felt like the Buckeyes were so efficient last year during the red zone.
Yeah, and obviously Chip Kelly helped that a lot. I mean, I thought, first start with Brian Hartline. I mean, I thought he called the game really well. I mean, even in the red zone, I thought the plays were there. I mean, I think the struggles come down to one, Julian saying wasn't really seeing the field as much as you would want him to and getting through his reads. Obviously, he missed a couple guys that were open there and started catching on a little later in the game, and then just running the ball downhill in the red zone. I thought the running game actually throughout from the 20-yard line to the 20-yard line was excellent. I mean, I thought they ran the ball, blocked well. Once you got in there and the field shrank a little bit, they pushed guys a little bit, but just not enough. So just a couple of missed opportunities there again. I mean, this is kind of, well, you know, you're going to get clowned on Twitter through the first half, and every fan base in America is like, well, you're a close game against Ohio. Like, this is the kind of game you want going into the Big Ten season. You want a comfortable victory, which it was, but you also want guys to be like, okay, you got to adjust now. There's things you got to work on. You were just in a tight ball game. You struggled on offense at times in the red zone. So I think this is the perfect game, but I would say definitely correctable mistakes by the offense in the red zone. But, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was just a little lackluster.
That's going to be that's an interesting take that you have in regards to Brian Hartline calling a good game. If you looked at Twitter during the game and all of the Hall of Fame Twitter coaches out there in the Ohio State community, plenty of people were ready to snatch the play sheet away from Brian Hartline and had a lot of criticism for his play calling. It's going to be interesting to see what Julian was seeing, or actually not seeing out there, when we get a chance to watch the All-22 this week.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him clearly miss Brandon Inniss on a wide open on the left-hand side.
No, Brandon Inniss, worst receiver ever. Take him out of the game. It's his fault that he's not producing. He wasn't wide open.
I mean, you see that. I mean, you see a one-on-one shot to Jeremiah Smith. You had to throw that. You wish it was thrown better, but that's the right call. You see a one-on-one shot to Carnell Tate, where he almost comes down with it. Defender got away with a clear hold, but you know, I'm no ref. But I mean, a couple of those plays back, you look and there's 21 points right there. So I mean, I thought it was a good play call. I mean, good play calling by Brian Hartline. I mean, I think he's done probably better than I've expected. I mean, it felt like week 1 when Ryan Day was calling the plays, it was like, ooh, this is called tight. I mean, I get it, Texas, but you really open it up. Brian Hartline said, watch this. I'm just opening the playbook to whatever play sheet, and I'm calling it. And I'm letting it fly. So, I mean, I've liked his play calling so far. I think we can execute a little bit better, but that's my opinion. But what's yours?
Do you think them opening up the playbook may have factored into Julian's struggles? Do you think it was just moving a tick fast with Ryan Day talked coming out of the Texas game that they felt that they could put more on Julian's plate? Do you think they might have put a little too much on his plate this past game, and the game might have been, or the game plan might have been a bit much for him?
I mean, you kind of, I won't say it's a bit much for him, but I mean, you kind of got to look at it as a learning opportunity. I mean, last week he's scrambling. He could have threw it behind the back and probably scored a touchdown. Like everything worked. So you come here against Ohio, which is a well step up and a better opponent. I mean, you want him to have mistakes that he can correct and not overcorrect. I mean, you saw with that Jeremiah Smith to the corner the first time, he threw it too short to Jelani Thurman, and he was like, "What are you doing? It's too high. The safety's over there. You got Jeremiah Smith." And the second time you see him force it in, and like, okay, yeah, the corner backed up that time, so it wasn't open. So, I mean, it allows him learning opportunities, and that's what you want right now, especially in a game you're not going to lose. Ohio State didn't play probably really bad, in the red zone, and you still walk away with what was a 30-point victory. So, I mean, that's the kind of game you want mistakes in to give them and make them think and make them adjust on the fly, and you hopefully that pays off better later in the season.
Yeah, you hope that it pays off later in the season. You come off that Grambling matchup 70-0. I feel like the Buckeyes were really filling themselves with the way they were able to just blow through that game. And you see them stumble a little bit in this Ohio game. And I think it's a little bit of a humbling moment for the Buckeyes going into the bye week, so they actually have tape to go off of going into this Washington game of things that they know that they need to improve. I mean, we still saw things in the Grambling game and Texas that they needed to work on, and that's the thing that I'm most excited about this Buckeye team, because they are so talented all around this team right now, and to see them continue to get better week in and week out, this could be the scariest team in the country by the college football playoff.
Yeah, I mean, what did we say all last week before? I had to move. It's a fundamental week. Really work on your fundamentals. Really work on your game and get better. And you felt like Ohio came here and they really challenged us, and that's what you wanted. You wanted players with an opportunity to get better. Obviously, the defense is balling out. So, I mean, if you give up a touchdown and the way they did, it's like you'll live with that. So they were balling out for the offense, though. Running game, obviously getting on page with the tight ends. We see everybody but Max Claire finally gets a touchdown there. So making big plays there, but the wide receivers, I mean, Cardinal State and Jeremiah Smith were showing you that they're in all-American pace right now with the way they're playing. It's just, executing. And obviously with some red zone struggles, now the team gets to look internally and say, hey, like, what didn't we do right in the red zone? Because we got to go to Washington, and like, that's a better team. We might get in the game with them, and it slows down a little bit and might not have as many opportunities to score. So, these are the things you kind of want early in the season, but you're right. With so much room to potentially get better, this is the kind of game you want before going to the Big Ten play, because, the opponents only get harder.
Exactly. Big matchup coming up off the bye week with Washington. I thought it was going to be a good test for the Buckeyes going against Parker Navarro, quarterback that we saw have 180 rushing yards coming in to the matchup. The Buckeyes do a great job containing them. And that was one of the things that I was most interested in seeing from the Buckeyes, is how they would respond to a quarterback that can move around like that. And you saw, and we talked about it the first 2 weeks. Do you think the Buckeyes weren't seeing as many sacks and as much of a pass rush based on the game plan? And you see a rushing quarterback that's scrambling around a little bit more, and the Buckeyes do find a way to get a few more sacks this week, and a lot of guys involved in the action. Q, your thoughts on the ability to stop the run against this Ohio rushing attack?
Yeah, I mean, first you talk about Parker Navarro. I mean, having a dual threat quarterback is two edges of a sword. One, it could throw you a lot of fits. You'd be like, man, this guy's getting out the pocket and he's running for 8-10 yards. Well, insert Arvell Reese, and that didn't really happen. Another, the other edge of that sword is he tries to scramble around, make stuff happen. He started to get sacks, and obviously our defensive ends and defensive line was able to get to him. So I thought they did a great job. Overall, I mean, this defense just with Matt Patricia is super impressive. I mean, even when people get a little bit of success, it feels like they've really been giving nothing all game, and it's like they were just desperate for something to happen. Hell, I'll just throw it up and hope for the best. And if that's what this defense is going to give up time and time, I mean, you trust our corners, you trust our safeties and secondary, you'll live with it. I mean, I think this defense is really playing out of their mind, and like Jaylen McClain, Lorenzo Styles, even though he gave up a touchdown, like, you didn't expect those guys to play as well as they have early in the season. You look at them like, man, they're really good. And you start to see the defensive line catch on, and you start to get some sacks. I mean, there's really no weaknesses to this defense right now. I mean, they haven't, maybe there is, and it hasn't been exposed yet. But right now you look at it like, what do you want to try to do? You want to try to run the middle against these guys? You want to try to throw the ball against Jermaine Matthews? Like, where do you look to turn to say, hey, I think we can have some success here?
Yeah, when you look at the big explosive play, it's kind of like, you hate to see it, but at the end of the day, it was a missed tackle.
Yeah, and it was a bad throw.
As long as the Buckeyes continue to tackle, I don't see like that. Easily the most explosive play that we've seen all year against the Buckeyes. Maybe the Parker Livingston touchdown, but still. And again, that touchdown had to be a perfect throw. Jermaine Matthews had great coverage on the play. I thought Lorenzo Styles had decent coverage. You'd like to see him potentially get his head around, but even him getting his hands up, he read the receiver's hands and eyes there and got his hands up with the timing. He knew the ball was coming. Just a little bit better effort on the tackle, and hopefully he gets him down there in the future. But overall, still a great defensive effort. And then the doink on the extra point to keep it under double digits.
Just because they knew that was your bold prediction. But yeah, you feel like if that's a good throw, it's probably deflected. Better chance it probably is. So a heck of a play by the wide receiver to catch it and get in the end zone. But yeah, you look around and you're like, I just don't know where the weaknesses on this defense are. And Matt Patricia is changing the page before the snap. It looks like something different. And they snap the ball. Everybody's, like we said, they rotate. They're in different places. So these guys are playing really great right now. Like I said, my biggest worry was pass rush. I want to see guys get to the quarterback. I would like to see a little more, but I can't complain. We got some sacks in this game. Arvell Reese was able to say, hey, y'all go get him. I'm tired of sacking the quarterback by myself, and we got some sacks in here. So, yeah, it's not much to complain about on defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Arvell Reese not too tired. He still ended up getting one himself. Caden Curry gets in on the action. Caden McDonald, Bo Atkinson also gets his first sack of the season. Q, I wanted to ask you, who do you think has been the most impressive player on this defensive front so far this season?
I was definitely Caden Curry. I think the talk was Kenyatta Jackson, who's the prototype defensive end with size, speed, and everything else. You felt like he was going to be your premier pass rusher. And not to say he still isn't. It's a long season to go, but Caden Curry has been a monster all over the field. He got a sack in the game, but you see him even when they get to the edge, he's running down plays. He's tackling running backs 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage.
I think that's been the most impressive thing that I've seen from Caden Curry. Nothing that he's done in the backfield, but him moving laterally and chasing down plays has been super impressive, especially given the fact that they asked him to put on more weight this year so they could use him on the interior as well. And you still see him being able to move on the edge has been super impressive from Caden Curry. I'm surprised that you said Caden Curry so quickly because I thought you might go K-Mac there.
I kind of knew what K-Mac was. I think we all felt like he should have played more last year. I don't think we would have said the same about Caden Curry. Like, he's playing just enough, but he's been vastly impressive. And we talk about, the athletes on this defense. If you were just be like, yo, list your best athletes, Caden Curry wouldn't show up on that list until way down. But the way he's running down running backs like 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage, you're like, damn, how good of an athlete is he? Because he's everywhere.
One of Larry's favorite sayings is he's very aware of how many snaps his guys are able to play at the level that he needs them to play while they're on the field. And Caden McDonald did not play a ton of snaps last year. And you heard about his physical transformation over the offseason and the way that he got his body ready for the season. And you see the increase of snaps and the production that he's been able to play, or in the production level that he's been able to put out. I think it's been super impressive and a testament to the work that he's put in the offseason.
Yeah, he looks like the next line in top couple round draft picks. He's been vastly impressive. He doesn't get moved. He's always in the backfield. He's disruptive. So definitely he's leading this defensive line. And you see Tywone Malone, Edric Houston, these guys are coming along, but K-Mac has been the staple of the defensive line. And like you said, we talked about Matt Patricia and the success he had with the NFL because he has that staple defensive tackle that really holds it down. And K-Mac has been that guy. So like I said, he's not even next up anymore. He's up now. So you're seeing the payoff from the off season. He need to lose weight, get in better shape because he got to play like double the snaps now, and he's doing it well. So no complaints. He's been playing at a high level. I expect an all Big Ten performance from K-Mac this year.
Yeah, you mentioned that he's the guy now, and I think if you look at the graphic, the debate is over, Q. I want to pivot to the other side of the ball. We've been talking about the running back position since the show has come back. Our guy Juck told us in the offseason, he's like, man, Bo Jackson is the guy. He is special. He's the most dynamic guy in that room, and he's going to make a push to be the running back. And we go to camp. James Peoples looks good. Bo Jackson's flashing. You see CJ Donaldson look great again in the Texas game. And then Bo Jackson burst on the scene these past 2 weeks and goes for 100 yards and looks like the most dynamic back in his backfield. And we talked about the importance of the explosive play that TreVeyon Henderson added all throughout his career. And the fact that Bo Jackson adds that type of big play, home run explosion to this offense, and you see it back-to-back weeks. Chris said maybe on the intro, maybe RB1. I'm going with better be, because I'm done talking about this. I need Bo Jackson in games of consequence to be the primary ball carrier, at least 3-1 to the next back behind him.
Yeah. Well, first of all, shout out to Coach Locke, because the running back rotation this game was as masterful as you can have it. Actually, giving
I disagree. I disagree.
No, hold on.
I could have seen
all three guys.
I could have seen
it's
significantly
Ohio.
more. I could have seen significantly more Bo Jackson. And here's my thing, Q. And
Okay,
here's
go
my
ahead.
and
Then
here, Ryan Day comes out in the post-game press conference and goes, "We need to find a way to play with 3 running backs." Hear me out. We don't. We need to find a way to play our best running backs. And I don't know that look, hear me out. I think we need to spend these next 2 weeks getting Bo Jackson as many reps in practice as possible, because everyone keeps saying pass pro, pass pro, pass pro. Well, if that's the case, get him as many reps as possible, because by the college football playoffs, I don't care whatever they do with these 3-man rotation. If it's a 3-man rotation, I guess keep doing it. You guys are the national championship coaches, not me. I'm just a Hall of Fame Twitter coach. But for the sake of keeping the running backs fresh, I do think that they're all capable, and I think that is going to be a positive going forward. But in games of consequence, we're playing. We're playing. Come on
now. Now I will say, I do think Coach Locke did a good job of getting all 3 running backs a chance to play in this game and obviously have their moments. Bo Jackson did pop off. And one, I think the thing you're kind of weighing is like how much until he hits that freshman wall. Like, again, he's just coming out of high school, had a couple of injuries high school. Next, I checked. I had to go back because I was like, yeah, Bo Jackson was the top, 60, 70 recruit coming in. And you had to check. You're like, no, he was like 250. 247 owed me because they moved him down the list after he committed. So originally he used to be, but I guess he's proven now that's where he should have been all along. So they hold me. It's just not forgiven. But Bo Jackson's clearly showing that he has a different pop. I mean, from 0 to 20 yards, he's explosive of a back we have. And you see him burst through the line and obviously make a guy miss and get to that second level. He may not have the top end speed like a TreVeyon Henderson yet. We'll see. Let's see what Coach Mick can do. But, I mean, clearly it just looks different when he has the ball. So, yeah, I think he does need more carries. And I think Coach Locke showed you in this game. He said, okay, Bo Jackson showed us something in week 2. He's going to get as many opportunities in week 3 as everybody else, which he did. I don't know the carry count, but I would guess he had as many touches as any of the running backs that played. So, I mean, Coach Locke is showing that he's definitely moving up. Now, we go to Washington next week, Big Ten opponent. We will see how the distribution of carries goes then, but I'm thinking Bo Jackson is moving. He's probably firmly in the top 2 right now. I think James Peoples and CJ Donaldson is competing to stay in that top 2 as well, because, I mean, you're looking at it like, yeah, we got to get this by the ball, and the way he's running, keep feeding him.
You mentioned the rotation. I did like the use of James Peoples at the end of the game. It gave me Master Teagish vibes of when you would be playing teams, and it's like, come on, they're already dead. And they put Master Teagan, and he's just running through these exhausted defenses. And I feel like that could be a role, because the runs that we did see from James Peoples at the end of the game were some of the best that we've seen from him all season. So I don't know if that is a role. My biggest thing with these 3 running backs is all 3 of them are going to need to be healthy and fresh for the college football playoffs. So at the end of the day, as long as it's not Penn State, as long as it's not the team up north, whatever you got to do to keep them healthy and fresh for the college football playoff. But game on the line, Bo knows.
And I don't know. I mean, that's a good shout. Master Teague, the best North-South running back of all time.
Pre-Achilles, bro. I feel like a lot of people only remember post-Achilles Master Teague. Pre-Achilles. It's different.
I mean, East-West might be one of the worst of all time, but North-South might be one of the best. Because
when you're running a 4-3 straight ahead, I mean, how many cuts do you need to make? I don't know many people trying to get in front of that.
Hopefully none. He's not gonna make them, but no, man. Shout out to Master Teague. But yeah. No, I mean, again, still you will see these guys get chances. I mean, James Peoples has some good runs in there, so hopefully he continues to progress. I mean, think about it, you get both of those guys back next year, so if they're really rolling by the end of the season, I mean, the backfield next year is going to look crazy. Depends on who they add in and who steps up to fill that third spot. So, I mean, I like the rotation right now. I think they all kind of have roles, and you start to see them kind of distribute that. I mean, C.J. Donaldson, when we get to the red zone, he's going to get the ball because they're like, all right, he's the most powerful guy, and he's the guy we trust holding onto the ball to game through the end zone. But yeah, I mean, Bo Jackson has shown now he's ready to go. He's ready to play. And running backs are one of the easier positions to adjust to college in. So just get him the ball and say, hey, find the open spot. So he's playing really well. And like, again, that's a dynamic part we needed to this offense, and now it's here.
Absolutely. We've just been waiting for him to get the opportunity to prove it, and he made the most of it in both of these games. And we said these 3 games leading up to Washington were going to be crucial for that running back room to really establish who deserves what carries, and it's going to be interesting to see what that distribution looks like going into Washington. Q had some good things to talk about, had some bad things to talk about. I had an appearance on ESPN Lima last week, and they asked me, what is the biggest weakness on this team? And I was saying it before it was hip, Q. This right guard position is blowing my mind because I'm like, what is going on here? We watched Tegra Shabola play solid football through a national championship run. We watched him struggle early during the season last year, and it's like, what is going on at that position? They're trying to figure it out with Ethan Onua. I think that is, without question, the biggest question mark on this team right now, and it's a spoiled take because I don't think it's that big of a concern, but it's the most glaring to me watching the game week in and week out. And my thing is, you can't tell me during the offseason we are 10 deep. I said it because they said it. And it looked like it, but there's no way you're 10 deep and you're rotating guards and it's looking like that at right guard. So if you're 10 deep, they need to figure it out because there's no way you have that many bodies and the right guard position looks the way it's looked. You had penalties from Tegra. You had just an overall poor performance. And it's like, what is going on? A guy that came in with such a high pedigree, an Ohio kid that has played a ton of football for Ohio State. And it's just like, what is going on here?
Ron watching the TV like, where are the other 8 at? I need to see someone else.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way. Like, we need one of those Chris Drew videos where you do the math on the whiteboard and it's like, well, if you're telling me this and I'm seeing that, this ain't adding up. I have to start taking my socks off to do the math.
Here. We're missing some. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I always felt like Tegra was going to be the guy you look at on this offensive line. I mean, again, I feel like they're playing him at guard. He's in a tackle body. I always felt like he would get over the tackle eventually. I mean, obviously that hasn't happened, and it's probably not going to happen because they keep pulling in guys to play tackle from the transfer portal. So, I mean, I just don't know how natural of a guard he is. I mean, he's good when he's full of energy and the game starts, but like if fatigue hits, he starts making mistakes.
They had him out in the second quarter, Q.
Yeah, fatigue might have hit already. He starts making mistakes. I mean, he is the weak link, but again, he's not that bad. So
that's my thing. Like it's the only thing.
He's just not great.
That's exactly, like, it's not bad, but it needs to be better.
And it might look worse.
I think it's impacting the running game.
Yeah, I mean, it might look worse or better on all 22. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's out yet, so we will see. But we'll see it on there. But yeah, I mean, that is kind of the weak link right now. But you look at it, I thought we played pretty decent against Texas. Obviously, everything worked last week against Grambling State. Nothing wasn't going to. So once we get into Big Ten play here, you're really going to see how bad or good he's playing and how bad or good that position is. But again, they're rotating. They're trying to figure it out. And if you trust Tyler Bowen and you trust, say, we brought in 3 Division I Power 5 offensive line coaches to get this offensive line right, then you got to trust those guys and say, all right, it may be not the best now, but let's see what it looks like in week 7. I mean, Justin Fry was a guy who's like, man, this doesn't look good right now. In a couple weeks, you're like, oh, geez, this looks damn good right now. I don't know what he did, but it worked. So can Tyler Bowen go do that?
And that's the thing. Chris said on the intro, like, what is going to be the solution at right guard? I know what the solution's going to be. Tegra's going to remember how to play football again. And it's just, that's the most frustrating thing about this conversation, because it's like, oh, well, what's the solution? I don't know. Probably the guy that's been starting at right guard for 2-3 years and just through a national championship run is going to, I don't know, play like a national champion again. And it's that's the frustrating part, because it's like, we know he's capable of doing it and he's just not. So now we have to go through this whole song and dance of, oh, well, maybe we're going to try this transfer tackle at right guard, or we're going to bring in one of the other right guard, one of the younger guys, and see if they can play guard. And it's like, or Tegra could lock in.
I mean, what's the difference between good players and great players? Consistency. I mean, you can make a great play, but you got to continue to do it time after time. So is he consistent is the question, because we all know he's good. We've all seen him make amazing plays before, and obviously he's super talented. So, I mean, that's the difference here, but that's on Coach Bowen to figure out. I mean, hey, man, you were offensive coordinator and offensive line coach at Virginia Tech. You got to hire at Ohio State, so you must be pretty good. Yeah, that's your position to show us. But, I mean, I think the offensive line has improved through the first couple of weeks. I think that's the one position you look at like, I don't know about this one. But, again, with 3 Division I offensive line coaches over there, somebody can help him out. Somebody knows how to coach guard and get his fundamentals right, get him to stop making mental mistakes. But at least it's not the old days where you'd be like, yo, I guarantee about 3 full start penalties a game.
I mean, I guess it's like false starts are the things that irritate me the most on the offensive line. But like right up there for a close second is personal fouls from my right guard Q.
Hey, man, if you're going to take a personal foul, it better be from your guard, man. You gotta have those tough guards, bro. That's position. You'll give them a PF every now and then. Yeah,
I had a few random notes, just things that stood out for me. Looking back through the box score, I can't wait to rewatch the All-22. There's a lot of things that I want to discuss, but the first thing, Arvell Reese led the team in tackles. It's just like, it's just so somber watching him every week. It's like, man, enjoy it while it lasts, because, man, he's going to be a top 15 pick. It's a joy to watch week in and week out, and it's just a shame that we're only going to get a season of it. It's like, it goes back to the Notre Dame conversation. We only get so much of this. You better enjoy it every week. It may not always look pretty, but we're not going to get a lot of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Arvell Reese, we knew this coming in, especially the way he played last season. I mean, and we can't really blame the coaches. I mean, obviously, Cody Simon and Sonny Styles were playing amazing at the end of the run last year. So it's like, I want to see more Arvell Reese, but I can't complain with what I see on the field, unlike other years where we could complain. So, I mean, obviously, he's playing like an All-American. I expect him to be there. I mean, you know, Fox made that mistake of showing him and saying Jeremiah Smith under the tagline right before the Texas game. I don't think they're going to make that mistake again. I think the nation now knows who Arvell Reese is, and Matt Patricia is really making a weapon out of him. I mean, obviously, spying on the QB, getting there, defending passes. Like, he really can do it all right now, and not a guy I really want to get tackled by. So he's playing at an elite level, but again, he's not alone. There's a lot of guys playing elite level on this defense, and there's a lot of guys that are like, man, I thought they were going to be here for years, and it's like, I don't know much longer they got left.
All dark alley MVP easily. You see Arvell Reese spying the quarterback and the one highlight, and he just breaks on the ball as the quarterback rolls out of the pocket, and he's just flying. It feels like hyperspeed, and it's like no one that's 6'4", 244 pounds should be moving like that.
Yeah, that's just not a sight I want to see roll it out. It's like, it's monsters, this bear just running at me. I'm getting closer to the sideline. Like, that's got to be what it looks like. No, man, I mean, again, I complained for years and years and years about athletic linebackers. Like, can we get somebody who I don't feel like the Maryland quarterback can juke out their shoes and run into the end zone? And it feels like we finally got that guy. So I'm going to enjoy it while it's here. And then I'll just go and watch old Ohio State highlights when it's not here.
I mean, well, you're going to get to watch it for a couple more years because you got Riley Pettijohn coming right up next and TJ Alford. So we are in good hands in the linebacker room. Q, I wanted to talk about the pass rush. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. The Buckeyes get 4 sacks this game. And it feels like the Buckeyes may have figured something out on the defensive line. You're seeing guys flash. Bo Atkinson gets his first sack. I think that was his best performance in a Buckeye uniform. Caden Curry has been absolutely balling out. We've heard the hype around Kenyatta Jackson. Haven't quite seen it as far as a production standpoint this season, because we've seen Kenyatta get after the passer in years past. So we've seen him do it before. Haven't really seen it on tape so far this year. My question to you is, do you think what we're seeing as far as the pass rush is Matt Patricia has a plan and they're going to go out there and beat them by design the way they want to go out there and beat them? And if it involves getting sacks, it involves getting sacks. If it doesn't, it doesn't, as long as they're out there executing. Do you feel like when it's time to dial up a pass rush, they're going to be able to do it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you saw it against Texas. And again, I think Matt Patricia knows how to win on the defense side many ways. I mean, coming from the NFL, like you weren't always going to have an elite pass rusher because you had elite tackles. So it's just a stalemate out there. I mean, one thing I want to see, and I'll probably check this out this week, is just pass rush win grades, because if we do see guys get a lot of one-on-one opportunities. I mean, I know Caden Curry this week, he smashed his. I saw his on PFF. He had like 35% win rate. So obviously he killed it, but I want to see it from guys across the board. Again, Kenyatta Jackson, guy we talked about in the season, he hasn't quite flashed like we thought he would get, but again, we're only 3 games in, so let's not write guys off, because I surely wrote Jack and JT off a while ago. Then that last playoff stretch run, I was like, well, these are the 5-star guys we recruited. Good Lord. So where did that come from? So not going to write guys off just early. I would like to see a little more production, but I want to check those grades. But it looked better this game. I mean, Bo Atkinson, a guy I've been hard on, and damn, that was a pause. A guy I've been criticizing about, and that was a lot caught myself. That was bad. I criticized him a lot in the first couple of weeks. He played a lot better this week. Again, got the sack. Had a good hit on Navarro, so obviously hurt his hand in the first half. But yeah, I mean, I thought he played a lot better this game. So if these guys continue to progress, I think it's good. But I think Baptist is going to get them a chance to win one-on-one. If they're not doing that, then I think he will dial up the pressure. So don't have to worry about it, because Arvell Reese back there blitzing. I mean, I don't think pass rush is going to be a problem if we need it.
Ryan Day has used the word violence a ton this year, and it felt like in years past, he always used to say the word tough, and it felt like he was trying to convince us. And it feels like when he says violence, it's a warning. Like he means it and they deliver. Like he always used to promise us toughness, and it was like sometimes. And now when he says violence, they go out and they bring violence every week. Jaylen McClain absolutely rocking shit out there. Like this team, Bo Atkinson, Hurts Parker Navarro early in the game. This team is just getting after it. How impressed were you with the Buckeyes' ability to deliver with this energy on the defensive side of the ball? It felt like the offense was sleepwalking a little bit early in the game, but I mean, you heard them talk at the Skull session. They were amped up and they wanted to play whistle to whistle, and it felt like the defense did.
Yeah, no, they were. I mean, the defense brought it. Those guys are hitting out there. Jaylen McClain, obviously, with the hit of the day. I mean, and that's what you want. I mean, it felt like we had safeties before. I don't name names, but you could just feel like you catch the ball going across the middle, and you'll just be just fine. You'll feel great after the play. Like
we have the clip from Buckeye BS back in the day where Cam says, it feels like we haven't heard pads pop since the 99s and the 2000s, and the last 2 years, the Buckeyes have been out there smacking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you want a warning going across, warning the wide receivers, hey, don't catch the ball here, or tight ends, because you'll pay the price. And now they're learning you will pay the price. I mean, Jaylen McClain. I mean, if you go back to recruiting heads, talk about guys we would pair with Caleb Downs if we got him. I was get him in his second year, but the Xavier Wanpas, the Zion Branch, and we're like, oh man, we're gonna have 2 5-star safeties playing back there. I mean, Jaylen McClain looks like a 5-star safety playing back there, because if you put number 2 on him, it'd take a little bit for us to be like, oh, okay, that's not quite Caleb Downs. This is Jaylen McClain. But it would take a little bit for your eyes to adjust, like, who made that play? So he's playing at an extremely high level. So shout out to Matt G and Tim Walton and the guys in the back on the back end, getting him right and getting him ready to play. But I mean, these defenses really bringing it, and you feel like again. Really didn't see the corners all game. So, they're playing extremely well. Now seeing them on my TV monitor. And again, the linebackers are playing at a high level. I mean, that was Matt P's calling card with him and James Laurinaitis. So the defensive line having a better pass rush, and hitting people, obviously, Navarro stepped out the game for a little bit because Bo Atkinson put one on him. I mean, it's just not a defense you really want to play against right now.
No, yeah, and you brought up Matt G. I mean, you have to give him credit for the way that Jaylen McClain is playing, as well as Lorenzo Styles' development. You would have to credit that to Matt G, being that Lorenzo Styles, one of his biggest attributes to his defense is his ability to play all of the safety positions in addition to the nickel role. So shout out to Matt G and what he's done with that safety room. Big plays from Jaylen McClain, lots of violence from this defense. I wanted to ask you about Edric Houston. We saw the clip of him and Matt Patricia hugging before the game. Tywone Malone gets the start over him. Clearly, it seems like they have a strong relationship. Edric Houston, not the greatest game, probably his worst game in a Buckeye uniform against Grambling. Disappointing given the opponent. You thought that would be an opportunity for him to really show out. Q, do you think this says more about Edric Houston's struggles or the depth that the Buckeyes feel that they have at this defensive tackle position, that they're like, you know what, we're going to just play Tywone Malone while you get things right here?
I'd probably say the more of the struggles with Edric Houston, but again, he's a sophomore, transition to defensive tackle. So we saw it's like the Tegra conversation. We've seen the high plays. We've seen the highlights in him play extremely well at defensive tackle, which is a position he didn't play until he got to Ohio State. So we've seen that, but obviously he's only a sophomore. He got hurt in camp, so he didn't get a lot of camp time. If everybody remembers, we all were afraid that he might be out for a while, and he's back playing against Texas. So, I thought he played well against Texas. That was obviously the first game last week against Grambling, which you would figure like, okay, if you played well against Texas, you're going to light shit up, and he didn't. So it's just one of those things where you got to be consistent against Tywone Malone, very talented guy in his own right, a good option. But you expect we're going to need Edric Houston. I mean, we obviously see K-Mac. He's disruptive inside. We're going to need two of those guys, and we don't know if we have that second guy yet. That's why everybody's like, hey, Hero could do left. He could have been possibly that second guy. So we don't know if we have the second guy to play at all Big Ten, all American level, quote unquote. So we're looking for it, and obviously they're going to give guys opportunity. So Edric Houston needs to step up his game, continues to improve.
Yeah, that's also a great shout, bringing up the injury. We don't know how that's impacting him or impacted his progress throughout the spring. It'll be interesting to see how he looks coming off this bye week and as we enter Big Ten play. I just wanted to get your thoughts there on that one. Uncharacteristic penalties by the Buckeyes this past week, and it feels like throughout the season, some weird personal fouls. Are you thrown off by these penalties? It feels uncharacteristic for Ryan Day teams. They're usually super disciplined. You've seen a lot of weird penalties in the first couple weeks. Is that something that you expect the Buckeyes to clean up here entering conference play?
Yeah. As long as you don't have the big ones. I think it's one of those things you kind of give up. It's like, soft team, no penalties, attitude, a lot of penalties. Like it's just like, you might have to sacrifice some if you want the team to play like that and with attitude. So I'm not surprised, man. I thought that Jeremiah Smith tussle, as they want to call it, was one of the funniest things I think I ever seen. He's grabbed all his face mask, and it looked like you're holding your little brother, where he just can't reach you because you just got a hold of him like this. Like, yeah, go ahead and try that. So I'm not too worried about it. Again, we've never been a team, even under Ryan Day, that penalties are gonna cost us games or guys are gonna go crazy. I think the worst thing we've ever seen was the G. Scott headbutt. We're like, okay, that was absurdly stupid, but that may be the one.
We saw someone quit the team in the middle of the game and flip off the crowd.
Yeah, but that's not a penalty. That one didn't hurt. The G. Scott headbutt, that hurt. So, I think we'll go with that as being a little bit worse. But Ohio State's never really been a team where penalties are going to cost them games. It's not the Florida where we throw a shoe 40 yards and then wonder why we lose. So I'm not too worried about it now. When we play some better opponents, might want to clean that up. But throughout the first couple of weeks, I think it's fine right now.
Speaking of JJ, he makes an appearance on punt return, and I know I was not the only person in the lunatic fringe screaming, God, no, why are you putting him out there? He drops the ball. They bring Brandon Inniss back out for the next punt. A lot has been made about Brandon Inniss returning punts. He gets his first, I think, solid punt return, and the furthest one this year. Had one for 28 yards. A lot of fair catches. The ball didn't really hit the ground. I thought it was an overall good performance. People were still tweeting, Inniss has to go back there. I'm like, well, Ryan Day told you something. Bryson Rogers, he had the one punt return. It looked solid, but then they never put him back out there, and they asked Ryan Day about it again last week, and he didn't bring up Bryson Rogers' name, so I don't know what's going on with that situation. I don't disagree that Bryson Rogers looked pretty dynamic back there, but also give bro flowers when he does something like a 28-yard punt return. That's a solid punt return.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I didn't mind seeing JJ back there once. I don't want him as a primary punt returner, but in the game,
hey, look, if we're putting JJ back there, it's because he's the best wide receiver in the country, and we think he's going to catch it. If he's going to go back there and drop it, bro, I do not want 11 people screaming down the field full speed with our generational future Hall of Fame wide receiver with his head down looking for the ball because he dropped it. Keep him on the sidelines during special teams. I'm sorry.
You gotta give him a chance.
I don't want to see it.
Put Caleb Downs back there. You gotta give him a chance to return. So when he gets to Ohio, he'll be fine.
Bro, they're trying to get him Heisman moments. Come up with a wide receiver pass. The jet sweep. They a stat padding, a rushing touchdown. Like, do that. I don't want to see him on special teams.
If he had caught that in Houston, you'd be doing a backflip right now over your chair.
Absolutely. Just like when I said all last season that I didn't want Caleb Downs returning punts either, and he has the only punt return. Like, so
yeah, you gotta give him a chance. So I don't mind one. I want him consistently back there. But yeah, Brendan Inniss had a good return. I mean, I wish he got more targets on offense and they would look for him. That would help a little bit. But I mean, I say to my initial state, he had a good return. I think you have 55-star, 4-star receivers over there on the bench / corners. Give him a chance with kick return and punt return. I mean, I think Brandon Inniss needs to play his offensive snaps and get targeted. Just like, I call for Carnell Tate to get more targets. I think Brandon Inniss at least needs a couple, or at least look for him when he's open. So I think that would help. But he did have a good return. I mean, I'm not the biggest proponent of your starters on special teams. We got all that talent sitting on the sideline. I would love for Bryson Rogers to go back there and that just be his role that he would carve out and maybe they'll get him more snaps on offense. I love for Mylan Grant to return kicks. I think he would be better. He has that straight line speed that if he hits a crease, he might be gone. So that's just my opinion. But Ryan Day and whoever's calling special teams now, I don't even keep up track with it anymore, but whoever calling it now seems that they want Brandon Inniss back there and he's back there.
Should be me calling plays on special teams, but that's a conversation for another day. Q, I wanted to ask you, who is the most underrated player on the team right now?
Ooh, that's hard. I'd say maybe Jaylen McClain might be. I mean, I've seen, a guy in my head is Luke Montgomery. I thought he's played really well through the first couple of weeks and no one's talked about him. So that may be a guy I would shout out. But I'd say Jaylen McClain is like the one guy on defense you don't hear a lot just because you have now Arvell Reese is a star. Now you got Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, all those guys out there. So he's kind of the forgotten man that's playing extremely well. So I would say probably him, though I don't feel like people really underrate him anymore. And then I would probably say Luke Montgomery. I think he's playing really well right now.
Wow, good. I'm glad that I asked you for one, and you said both of the ones that I was thinking of. So we can just move on to the next topic, Mr. Selfish.
Ron, who's the most overrated player on the Buckeyes right now? I didn't think you'd say Luke Montgomery, so I was like, Jaylen McClain's probably your guy. It's hard not to say it's him. So.
Absolutely. Before we get out of here, Q, I wanted to get your MVPs on both sides of the ball from the 37-9 victory over Ohio.
If I'm not going obvious on offense, I would say Bo Jackson. I mean, obviously Jeremiah Smith put up all the stats in the world. So, yes, he had a great game. I mean, I think Bo Jackson really carved a role out for him permanently in this offense. So, I would give it to him on the offensive side of the ball that he played extremely well. When we watch the All 22, I'll find a lineman or somebody to give it to after the game, because then you can see the game a little more. Defensively, I'm going to go Bo Atkinson. I'm going to go with Atkinson on here. Probably didn't have the best game of the guys on defense, but I was critical of him through the first 2 games. Thought he really popped this game and played a lot better on the TV edition. So I will give it to him right now. Ron, who are yours?
I'm going with Bo Jackson again. He helped me deliver on one of my bold predictions, so that automatically gets him an MVP. And then I'm going to go with Caden Curry. I've just been, I feel like I have to keep mentioning him because we didn't even do shows in the off season, but mentally I wrote him off. I thought, they go out and get Bo Atkinson, they go out and get Logan George. I thought that they were really trying to tell us something about this, and then CJ Hicks moves to the defensive end room too. I thought they were telling us something about this edge position. And then Caden Curry comes out here and looks like a guy that could be playing on Sundays next year.
Yeah, no, he's played extremely well. Yeah, he was kind of the forgotten man. They're pulling in defense ends from everywhere. Like, come one, come all. It was like Texas with defensive tackles. Like, we need somebody, and the guy's been right here the whole time. So, no, Caden Curry's played at a high level. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
No, next thing you know, Nick McLarty, he's going to be playing defensive end.
That's what I really want to see. He's not going to punt the freaking ball.
Yeah, they're not going to let him punt the ball. Put him at the end.
Let Larry get his hands on another tackle. Like, come on, this guy can fit in here somewhere. It's going to be hard moving him off the ball.
Q, I know you watched 0 college football this weekend, but were there any things that happened this weekend that jumped out to you? Did you get a chance to look at any of the scores around the nation or catch any headlines before we get out of here?
Got to give a shout out to Miami. I mean, they handled business against South Florida. That's a game we talked about before I started moving. So give a shout out to them. Again, the biggest thing was consistency for them. I did actually, the other game I did get to see was at Notre Dame, Texas A&M. I saw a good amount of it. Man, that is the suckiest way to lose a game like possible. Just an extra point. Tyler Buckner just drops it. And then obviously Texas A&M goes down and scores at the death of time after getting away with an egregious hold on the offensive line. Jesus Christ. I'm like, dang. But yeah, I mean, Notre Dame is now what? They didn't play last week. They were 0-2.
Yes, they are 0-2 and potentially going to be looking for a conference to join because they're not going to be able to make the playoffs right now. I mean, they have no big games to boost their resume. They've lost to 2 borderline playoff teams. I mean, we'll talk about the AP poll tomorrow, but things are looking spooky for Notre Dame. I talked to Chris last week and I said, man, my matchup of the week is we have a potential Heisman frontrunner going against a 1-1 maybe playoff team. And Haynes King goes out there and destroys Clemson. One of the most exciting players to watch in college football. Georgia Tech ranked 18 in the AP poll. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. But, man, did they get robbed. As far as the voting there, a must-watch TV week in and week out. And, if we're going to give credit to anyone for performances this past week, I got to give a shout-out to Georgia Tech and the Fighting Haynes Kings.
Yeah, I did see that knockoff Clemson. Now Clemson is pretty much out.
Is it a knockoff Clemson or does Clemson just stink?
I mean, they're not as good as we thought they were. I mean, after watching defensive line highlights from Clemson, I was like, man, these dudes, Cade Klubnik is back. Like they're going to ball out. Yeah, they're not as good as we thought they are, but things get wild in the ACC. They may look like that right now and go beat Florida State and Miami. So it's a good thing they play in conference. That might help their chances at the end of the year. But yeah, they're not as good as we thought they were. But in the ACC, I mean, this old Pac-10, you never know what's gonna happen. So we will have to stay tuned and see what goes on.
Yeah, like my brain is telling me, man, it's the ACC. Don't believe in Miami. But each week I watch them, and I don't know if the rest of college football is that bad or if Miami has just finally reached that point where they are one of the best teams in college football. But we're going to have to wait and see. there. Q, a couple announcements around here. We're going into the bye week, so we have we're going to be doing things a little bit different around here. You know, my favorite topic is recruiting, so we are going to do a segment this week where we take 1 or 2 episodes and go back and revisit the Ron 3 2023 5-star rankings and do a where are they now with them. And man, we're going to have a good time with that because we got some good hits on there and we got some holy shit misses. So that is going to kick off a recruiting segment that Q and I are going to do leading up to signing day. So we are going to start watching film on some of the top prospects in the country. So Q and I are going to do some videos where you can watch along some huddle film of some of the top prospects in the country. And we're going to re-put out some Ron 3 rankings for National Signing Day. So if you want to hang out and watch some of the top prospects with us, make sure you're tuned in right here on Dead Air Sports. We have officially launched our members, so you're going to be getting a ton of exclusive content around here. Chris is going to be doing some members-only live streams this week, so make sure that you sign up here for our members program right here on Dead Air Sports. It helps us a ton, and yeah, we're going to be bringing a bunch of new exclusive content in addition to our regular scheduled programming. So just wanted to let you guys know that that is available now. We're going to be getting some custom emojis and stickers in there here in the next couple days. So if you have ideas for what you want to see in the sticker package or emojis, let us know in the comments. And yeah, appreciate all the support over here at Dead Air Sports. Q, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, appreciate Chris filling in for me on Friday, helping me out there as I get the new place in order, which it is not. You do not want to see this place right now. I will tell you that. I don't want to see this place right now. Stay at a friend's house. But no, man, appreciate everybody. Make sure you like that video, hit that sub button. Again, we're growing, and now we have members. So join up. Chris Drew will be holding it down over there, and we'll continue to scheme up some good content for you behind that wall. But yeah, if you are on Twitter, make sure you like and retweet the video. And here, make sure you tell a friend you're already here. So tell somebody to join you. We can all hang out for the live show. So we'll do that. If you want to find me, I'm C-Boy Quittin on Twitter, Planet Johnson on Instagram, and right here Monday through Friday on Dead Air Sports with my co-host Ron. Ron, where can they find you at?
Yeah, if you want to find me, you can find me Monday through Fridays right here on the Buckeye Roast here with my guy QP at 8 a.m. every morning during the weekdays. If you want to find me on Twitter, it is at 2Ts. It's 2_TES. You can catch us in the Bleacher Report app for instant reactions after the Ohio State games and the Ohio State team stream. It's the bye week, so I don't think we're doing any content for Bleacher Report this week, but then we'll be right back at it next week. And yeah, tons of content coming on the channel in the next couple of days. A couple cool recruiting segments. It's going to be a fun little look back. I mean, I don't know how much we're going to rehash this this Ohio game, and then we have Washington all next week to preview. So we're going to do some recruiting stuff and some different topics this week instead of talking about the current team. There's only so much that we could say about them. I mean, you know, the regular scheduled sponsorships of SFE's great, Riley Pettijohn, Devin Sanchez, all the keywords you got to say about the great players at Ohio State. We'll take a week off from that and talk a little bit recruiting and do some other things around here. So be sure to tune in right here on Dead Air Sports. And you know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
IO.
Example, when things get hard in life, you just keep swinging as hard as you can. You fight. That's our culture.
I promised you we had a plan. Remember that we talked about a plan? The plan was infallible. Part of that infallible plan is getting a team prepared, ready to go, so we start practice. Our coaches know what we got. And there's not one person in America I trusted more than Coach Mick and that staff. Think about this. 130 teams either today they report or they've already reported. 130. 16 weeks from now, there's going to be one champion. One champion in our conference, one champion on the side of our conference. And in the country, one team's going to do this. Not 36, not 48, not 44, one. That tells you how hard it is to be a champion. To do right all the time. That's why there's one. I want a hungry team. I want a hungry team. I want a team that can't wait to get out there. You know, there's a bunch of players that maybe, whenever you have a new coaching staff, you haven't played much, maybe you're trying to make a name for yourself, you're a hungry football player. I want a hungry team. And last one, most importantly, I've got to coach a few of them. I want an angry team. I want a pissed off football team. I want a team that has a little chip on their shoulder. Maybe something's been taken from you. Maybe something hasn't. Maybe something's been taken from you. Are you a team that's going to go get it? You're the Ohio State Buckeyes. You're an angry football team. You got an angry staff. You got a bunch of guys that are getting ready to start a journey. We're starting that journey tomorrow at 5 a.m. You're a hungry football team, and I'm proud to be your coach. There's a plan in place, right?